This week at Lebanon Road, we're talking about evangelism. This is Adam Fawn. I'm here with J.D. Buckner and a new adventure we have here at Lebanon Road for our website. And J.D., these videos this week at Lebanon Road, since this is the first, just take a minute and tell our folks, our millions, I'm sure, who are watching this, why we're doing this and where these things came from.
Well, we decided to do these videos. Adam brought this idea to me. I thought it was really great. It's just a way for us to share in another media outlet to our congregation and maybe be helpful to other ministers and other congregations down the road. And I just want to commend Adam for this great idea. He's such a techie guy. He's always thinking outside the box. And it's a pleasure to work with him and share in his ideas as well.
Wow, that's a better answer than I thought of, because it complimented me. I appreciate that. No, if you're not from Lebanon Road, I'm the pulpit minister at Lebanon Road. JD's our youth minister. And one of the things that we hope to do on these videos, hopefully we'll have them every week. Every once in a while we might not be able to, but if that happens, that happens. But hopefully by doing this in video format, we hope to have some other folks on with us every once in a while, maybe a guest speaker, maybe someone who's in for a gospel meeting, something like that. And by doing on video, we hope that folks will come back to our website, LebanonRoadChurchOfChrist.org, or they can also get these on YouTube. There's a Lebanon Road channel on there. But I mentioned as we began that this week at Lebanon Road we're talking about evangelism because we just finished up this past weekend, Saturday, January 26th and Sunday, January 27th, Evangelism for Today. That was a great weekend. And for those who are not from Lebanon Road or those who are that just could not come, let's just talk about that for a few moments. What was it? What did we do?
I loved Evangelism for Today. It was a great weekend. We had several speakers. We had Brother Earl Edwards and Brother Rob Whitaker, Brother Mike Baker, and Sister Joanne Howe speaking on different topics. I guess one of the things I appreciated most about Evangelism for Today was that it's a practical approach for Christians to take in evangelizing in where they are. In their neighborhoods, and not necessarily door knocking, although that was a part of it, as Brother Rob brought in his lesson. But the main emphasis that I brought from it was personal evangelism. Getting people in your homes and experiencing the power of the home and the power of the kitchen table. Having purposed Bible studies, gathering around that table and opening the good book and studying from God's Word. Not just telling people about their faith, but showing the faith that is found in the Bible. Those are things that impacted me most, I benefited from. I just enjoyed all the speakers. It was good.
Yeah, you brought there the idea of the home, and that was one thing that just kept, and we gave the speakers a title, and that's really all we gave them, and we knew they were good speakers, and that just kept coming up of having people in your home, but also letting them see Christianity in the home, how you interact with your children or with your spouse or those sorts of things. And one of the things that Rob said at least a couple of times that I thought was very good was it's fine to take people out to eat. We talk about that a lot and those sorts of things. But sometimes when you're in a setting like that, it's hard to really have a Bible study because there's other people around, or you feel like you're kind of rushed. Maybe it's a fast food place, or maybe it isn't. You feel like you got to give your table up because there's a line out the door. I thought that was an extremely practical little insight that I guess I knew, but hearing someone say it really makes a difference.
I felt the same way.
And the weekend went Saturday and Sunday. Mike Baker spoke Sunday morning. Our own Harry Middleton, who's our outreach minister, spoke Sunday night. And I thought Harry did a good job of ending the weekend with sort of taking the personal and then saying, what can we as a congregation do? And I wanted to bring that up because one of the things we're doing at Lebanon Road for this year, 2013, is that our theme is outward and upward. And that came because this evangelism workshop had been scheduled really since late last year, fall of last year, I guess. And we didn't want to make it where we have an event and then we just say, well, we've done it. We've evangelized the world because we had a weekend.
Yes, that was one of our main goals at Lebanon Road, was to not just have events, but to really back them up. And our plan through the year, as Adam has said and the elders have wanted us to do, is to reinforce this idea of evangelism and personal evangelism in our Bible school classes, and not just leave Evangelism for Today where it was in January, but to carry it all throughout the year and really experience that theme of outward and upward. So I think it's a good plan.
Yeah, I put on the front page of our bulletin this week that an event is wonderful. I love planning events. It's great. But sometimes when you finish the event, you think you've done the thing. And having an event about evangelism doesn't mean we've evangelized a single person.
It's true.
And so we need to make sure that we take as I've been trying to say in sermons, the information and the motivation and bring them forward. And hopefully all of us will be doing that. The Bible makes it very clear, the New Testament makes it very clear that this is our work as a church, but also as individuals. Jesus gave the Great Commission. Matthew recorded it, Mark recorded it, and Luke recorded it. And then, of course, Acts begins with Jesus ascending into heaven, but as he does, telling his followers there that you will be my witnesses in all these places, Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. And that needs to be our emphasis, that no matter where we're at, whether it's in our home, our school, our workplace, or whether we're traveling around the world, that we take the gospel with us in any way that we possibly can. Before we get to some sort of just announcements for this week, we want this to be This Week at Lebanon Road, are there any other insights that you gained, maybe in a practical way, or just a thought that has stuck with you since this past weekend that you hope to sort of make more of part of your life?
Part of my life, I talked with my wife Maria about this. She really appreciated how the ministers used their wives in a team effort to evangelize. And talking with Maria, my wife, about that, I thought we could really do a lot more together as a team in helping those. Another thing that impacted me was looking within the congregation for those who could use Bible study, those prospects that, as one speaker said, the Lord brings to us. We're not necessarily going out and searching for them, but they're coming to us. I really appreciated the empowerment that everyone can receive from Evangelism for Today. All of us can do this. All of us should do this, as you said, as Jesus commissioned us, all of His disciples, to go out to the world. It is a command, as you've said in several sermons, not just a, what did you say?
It's a command, not a talent.
There you go. Not a command, not a talent. All of us should do this, and we can do this, and that's really what I came away from the weekend.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm not the first preacher to emphasize it, of course, but I took away from the weekend that I've been trying to emphasize in sermons, but hearing guys who really are good at it emphasize it makes a bigger difference for sure, is that we use our talents to do the Great Commission. The Great Commission is not a talent. It's something that whether you're a public speaker, or whether you're someone who's very hospitable, whether you're someone who can send cards, all of that can be done to help evangelize. And I'm so excited that our elders here have made that an emphasis. And we hope to carry that, as we said, throughout this year and beyond. Well, we're talking about evangelism, but we're trying to keep these between 5 and 10 minutes. And so before we finish up for this week, we've got just a couple of things to remind our Lebanon Road folks about, some announcements. Of course, we're excited this week. Shay and Mandy Kofer had their baby Zoe, and I know you were there and I was there on Monday when she was born. And we're recording this on Thursday. By the way, we're going to try to put these up on Wednesday, but we didn't have any power at the church building on Wednesday. So this is being recorded on Thursday. And as the plan was, they're scheduled to go home today, and we're excited about that. So that's great news. Next Monday will be our bulletin board bash. That was postponed as well for a different reason, but that will happen next Monday night, and always a good time. But you and I won't be here for that. We'll be at Freed-Hardeman for the annual lectureship, but we hope that folks will come to the bulletin board bash to help sort of spruce up our hallways, and of course always we look forward to the Lord's Day. And this Sunday promises to be another good Lord's Day here at Lebanon Road. Well, before we finish up this week in Lebanon Road, is there anything else you'd like to let our folks know before we call it a day?
I think that's it. Thank you for watching.
And we hope that you will give us some feedback. We know these are very laid back, and the set's very exciting. JD got all this set up with the table, but he is
nice
doing,
white walls.
He's doing all the
festive.
He is doing all the video and audio stuff, and we hope to keep working on that as these go on. But give us some feedback. You can email through the website to give us some feedback of some ways maybe we can improve, or maybe you know some tech tips that we don't know, and that would help us as well. But until next week, we hope that you enjoy this, and this is This Week at Lebanon Road.